Before we get started, does anyone want to get out? No, real quick here at the beginning, I just wanted to say for those that follow it, my Gav review will be late. It will be tomorrow. I decided to push it for this since it's a little bit more relevant. You know, new is always better. And new is always better is the oldest rule, which makes it the best. Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. It is that exciting time of year where it is time for our writer press conference for our brand new series, Kamen Rider Zeztz. I'm going to go over a few of the small details we got at the beginning, and then I'm going to go through the trailer, not like a shot-by-shot breakdown being like, what does this elbow mean for Doomsday, but just talking about what we see. So just talking about the characters, we got the character name for Zeztz, which is Baku Yorozu. He is a luckless young man obsessed with spies and secrets. One day when a badly injured Baku finds himself in a dream world, recruited by an organization named Code to fight creatures called nightmares responsible for attacks on humans. And because of the nightmares, we have two police officers also going after these, Tetsuya and Natsuka. And then Baku's greatest ally is his sister named Minami. And then joining Code will be a new rival character named Nox. And these guys are all in the trailer, and I'll talk about them a little bit when we see them. There's also a motorcycle character, which we also see in the trailer, who has a robotic human form called Zero. And then here for information here, it says we have veteran writer Yuya Takahashi on the series. I'm going to be honest, unlike certain movies and stuff, I don't follow toku writers and directors and stuff. So they're like veteran writer. I'm like, what did he write? I mean, I could look it up, but they always say that I'm supposed to know what they did. But then there's also the veteran director Kazuya Kamaharuchi. I'm delivery's wrong. I'm butchering it. But bottom line is, if you know these guys, I don't know if they're any good or not. But premiering September 7th. So those are kind of the base details. We kind of already knew the core storyline about the nightmares and stuff like that. But let's skim through the trailer now, shall we? All right, now we're going to talk about the trailer for this Kamen Rider. They say Kamen Rider really weird. It sounds either like AI generated or somebody just didn't know how to say it or something. And then he also says, the main character says, I'm on it at one point, and it made me think for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, is this a dub trailer? Because I still don't know, as of this recording within the US, if they're just doing subs or dubs or not. But we're just going to talk about what we see in the trailer. So we have our main character happening upon a hostage situation. That makes it sound like he just stumbled upon a, classic hostage situation mess around. But we get a good look at our main character, and I really like the looks of him so far. He looks like he's going to be a much cooler, smooth character. You guys know I'm kind of sick of the same, goody-goody, type of character we've been getting. I really like Shoma, but I really feel like all of our main characters, with the exception of ones like Geets, have felt like 98% the same person. So it's nice to have kind of a cooler character that very much fits this suit a lot more, because it would be really awkward to have a Shoma Hotaro type in this suit. But he is saving this hostage and transforming for the first time, and everything looks really good. I really like the sounds of the belt. I think it's really cool, very 01 coded. I like the way you have the little digital Digimon friend coming out of there. It's a good mix of kind of having the fun gimmick, but it also seems a lot more cool and sleek. And then you have him kind of just acting like a smooth, suave agent with this girl that he saved. I don't know if she's meant to be one of the main character girls or not, or it's just some random civilian. But obviously he's going to be an agent working for this organization, so you have that kind of agent-y vibe. He's even got the holster on. When we get a look at his character, he's got a gun and stuff, so you know that Toku's serious for adults, so you can tell people you're so much cooler for liking this instead of Power Rangers because there's a gun in it once. But we get a kind of showcase of his character, and it looks like he'll be able to have some funny moments too. Not over the top, but he's not going to be a total jerk, I don't think. And then we have our female leads here. The first one, we scroll to the name Nemu here, who looks like she might be almost feeling like a Sachika type role in the series. It's just very much reminding me of that from the little bits of looks we see. And then the other character here we see, whose name is Yoruzu, is another female lead here. She looks like she's going to have some fun antics with the character, maybe bringing out some of the humorous bits. And something I wanted to highlight here is just from the way this is shot. I really like the way this feels. The feel and aesthetic of this feels a bit like pre-decade Rider, that kind of more grounded, not for grittier feel, but a more grounded feel. Rider used to have a very distinct mood and tone in the way it was shot and presented compared to Sentai. And ever since post-Double, with the exception of stuff like Gaim, it very much has that poppier feel. And so I like that we have this kind of feeling like it used to feel, but also kind of updated, almost feeling like Amazon's a bit too. I think they're going for a slightly more mature feel as they're trying to bring in the Western audience a bit and wherever else they're airing it. So I just really like the feel of that. Not to mention it's a breath of fresh air because we've had that sort of poppier tone the last few years, and it's nice to switch up the tones. I wouldn't be mad at that if we had a series that felt more like this and then a series that felt more like Gav. Then we highlight our 2 cop characters here whose names are, we have Nagumo and then the male one, which is Fujimi, and we have them like investigating around town and getting in some hijinks there, so we might get some comedic relief bits with them, but also them investigating stuff going on. I think that'll be really interesting. I think solely because it's cop characters, but it's giving me vibes of like Kuga and stuff, just because you had the police involved, and I'm trying to remember the last time you had the police involved in like whatever was going on with the Rider stuff. I mean, there probably is some, but not in a prominent way, but it just kind of continues that sort of grounded feeling with it. Then we have our look at our bike character transforming, who reminds me of several things all at once. Like a little bit, Cheetah Nick because he's a bike, a little bit of Mox colors in his bike just because of that, but something about the face, I don't know what it is. Like, it just seems similar, but I can't put my finger on it. Like, I can't say, like, oh yeah, that reminds me of this. It just seems similar. I think that it'll be interesting to see how his character folds in. I really like the way that you have his, like, a look at his face here, though, and he has, like, the weird, like, dice on the front, the dice look on the front, but then you can sort of see the bug design, too. It's one of those things where I'm not sure, like, what's meant to be the eyes, but I really dig the design of it, and I think it'll be a fun character to have around. Then we have kind of a look at some of the villains and stuff, a creepy hand coming through, some shadowy figures. I'll look at the nightmares and their designs. They overall look pretty cool. I hope we get some horror vibes with this. I really like the idea behind the dreams and nightmares and the kind of monstrous feel of it, and the whole concept of going inside the dreams is super cool. And then you have our look at our rival character here, Nox, who I'd be shocked if he doesn't become like a Valvarad, Chaser, Rider-esque character, at least if not a Rider. I don't know if there's a rumor on that. I think there probably will be something with that. I'd just be shocked if he doesn't become a Rider. He already has like a sword device that almost looks like it's molding, where you would put the lock seat or whatever would go there, so he's going to be an interesting character to watch there. And then you just kind of get more looks at kind of like a highlight reel. You know, you have him transforming, you have a sick look at his suit lighting up, you have a little bit of a showcase of the different ability forms we saw in that showcase earlier, you know, the sick scythe weapon, all the different kind of powers and like arm growths that he can use and whatnot. The rider kick, you got to look at him on the bike, just kind of a highlight reel of all the action. It's interesting because like a lot of this doesn't feel so new. Maybe I'm just misremembering it, but I feel like in the past we only got like the toys and stuff and maybe like 1 or 2 pictures before the press conference, but then now with this we've gotten several showcases, so I feel like we just got a couple new characters and some more context, but it doesn't feel wholly new. But I'm really excited for this series. I think it looks really cool and sleek. I'm really interested to see how it does in the US. I think it'll be a breath of fresh air, and like I said, I just really like the way it feels kind of like a modern version of what Rider used to feel like. I do miss that. I don't mind them bouncing around tones where we could have a series like this, and then a more silly one, but I do miss when Rider felt distinct from Sentai. I feel like it's a homogenous blob now of bright poppiness and gimmicks, and I miss popping on Superhero Time and having one feeling a bit moodier and the other feeling poppier, and I would love to get back to that where they feel more distinct. But what do you guys think? Let me know what you think of the trailer in the comments as always. Are you looking forward to the series? Until next time, Dawson Rider signing out.